April 11th, 1970, the Saturn V rocket was launched into space from Cape Kennedy in Florida, USA. On board were 3 astronauts: James Lovell, the captain, John Swigert, and Fred Hayes. James Lovell and Fred Hayes were going to be the 5th and 6th humans to walk on the moon. 4 humans had successfully walked on the moon recently. 2 successful moon landing missions had been made recently. This was going to be the 3rd lunar landing mission. Everything was going fine in the beginning. But 2 days after launch from Cape Kennedy, on April 13th, 1970, when the astronauts were in their spacecraft in space, advancing towards the moon, 200,000 kilometers away from Earth, and only 100,000 kilometers left to arrive at the moon, something terrible happened. Let's listen to the radio communication between the astronauts in space on their way to the moon and Mission Control in Houston. This is the real conversation and the real recording, not the one from the movie.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we had a problem. We had a main beam thunderbolt.
Roger, main beam thunderbolt. Okay, stand by 13, we're looking.
Okay, Houston, we have a problem here, said James Lovell, the captain. The astronauts reported that they heard a loud bang coming from outside of the spacecraft. And soon after that, the instruments on board the spacecraft show that the pressure from the oxygen tank was decreasing very fast. It turned out that the oxygen tank had exploded. The oxygen tank was supplying the oxygen, the water, and the electricity of the spacecraft. We're talking about Apollo 13. This is a real photograph taken by the astronauts after they left the spacecraft. And here you can see the damaged, exploded oxygen tank. Now with the oxygen tank gone, they had only 2 hours of electricity left in a battery. This means that they cannot control the spacecraft. Most of the machinery were not working because of lack of electricity. The carbon dioxide level was increasing dangerously. The moon landing was cancelled. It was no longer a moon landing mission. It was a rescue mission. The question was, would they be able to bring back the astronauts back alive? Because most of the instruments without electricity were not working on the spacecraft, on the damaged spacecraft. Engineers around the world said that they had only 10% chance to bring the damaged spacecraft back to Earth. 90% chance they would die in space. There was despair all over the world. People started praying for the lives of the astronauts. When everybody lost hope, one man at Mission Control in Houston, Gene Kranz, the flight commander of Apollo 13, said, "We are going to do whatever is necessary to bring these men back alive to Earth. Failure is not an option." Failure is not an option became a slogan, and it immediately lifted up the spirits of the engineers around the world. Thousands of engineers around the world cooperated, focusing on failure is not an option. And they found how to make 2 hours of electricity last for 4 days. They found a way to bring down the carbon dioxide level, and they found solutions to many other problems. Each one a miracle, but I don't have the time to get into those right now. And they did bring those astronauts back to Earth alive. And this is explained in the book Apollo 13, written by James Lovell, the captain of Apollo 13 himself. This is not the Hollywood movie. It's a real story. The lesson from this is, in a matter of life or death, if we focus on death, that's what we get, death. If we focus on survival, there is no guarantee that we will survive, but it's our only chance. In a situation that is very difficult, if we say, there's nothing we can do, it's hopeless, then failure is guaranteed. But if we say, failure is not an option, we will do whatever we can to succeed, there is no guarantee of success, we can still fail. But it's our only chance to succeed. The mental state of failure is not an option.